Yeah, I mean, can I be honest?
Mm-hmm.
I hope Aaron Glenn gets a head coaching job. Like, how many years in a row do we have excessive injuries on the defense before we start realizing, especially in the secondary, before we start realizing we're asking our secondary to do too much?
Yeah.
Like Aaron Glenn is this guy who was the ultra competitive corner, undersized, ultra competitive, and he expects his corners to do the same thing. The problem is when you're putting your corners in the mix, like they're a linebacker, they're going to get hurt.
Mm-hmm.
They're just going to get hurt more. And so you're asking him to do all these things. And it's like, let's just do that. When you get to the playoffs, when you're playing the best of the best, you can't have one speed on defense. You have to have multiple speeds. You have to be able to do multiple things. And so I understand that there's a ton of injuries, but at some point, we have to start blaming the coaching staff. And by the way, there were no injuries on the offensive side. Is that chance that you have 18 players on the IR on the defensive side and like 2 on the offense? I don't think that's by chance. I don't know. That's kind of one of my big takeaways on this is like, I think it's time. And does Dan Campbell, who loves Aaron Glenn, have the stones to be like, it's time to go. Even though it was a great year, it was fool's gold. It's what was his name at U of M?
Don Brown.
Don Brown. Same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing.
Yeah,
but when you play the best, it doesn't work.
Yes, it right. And there is something to it. And I don't know where I stand on this, and I'm trying to figure it out. The defense, the physicality, the aggressiveness is so, it's like, cool, that's what we are. And it works. It's just, I don't know. It's just when it works, it works. And when it doesn't, it just looks like, oh my gosh, this is not good. But the injury part I hadn't thought of. And you know, I guess we had brought it up on this channel a few times of like, why we asked you guys, like, why are the injuries so bad? Why are the injuries so bad? And it's like, because one of the reasons is we play so stinking hard, which I love, but
so
also
aggressive. Yeah.
There's definitely that. But then when you're right, when you're constantly asking your defense to be put in positions that like a secondary player right up in the box, and there's just going to be more of that, and we're crashing in, we're blitzing. So again, I love it. I mean, 2 losses going into this game, so it's hard to just be upset after one game and like go too far on one side, right? But at the same time, I think there's something to that. How about Goff?
Let's talk about
what are your thoughts on Goff?
Well, the thoughts, I mean, have you been reading the thread at all?
A little bit, yes.
Going? People are going off on this guy. I mean, like, this is Jared Goff. I'm at a Michigan game 2 weeks ago, and Jared Goff chants are breaking out, right? Yeah. Because everybody loves this guy. And now everybody's saying he's a regular season quarterback. He sucks. He's all this. And it's just like, dude won 2 playoff games for us last year.
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, I understand the turnovers. I'm not going to sit here and say, and by the way, he can go in the blue tent. They can say he didn't have a concussion all they want. Dude had a concussion. Oh. Like, he clearly did. And it was a completely different feel. But I will still go out and say we had 31 points. Like, shouldn't 31 points win you a game pretty often?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I get it. Pick 6. I mean, we may as well have 24 because that's a swing of 7 points, right? Or 14. Yep. But I'm still on the side of Jared Goff. And if you take tape from this year and you look at it from last year, there is a great improvement in Jared Goff's game, even from last year to this year. This was not his best game. By the way, I don't know if anybody knows this. Before this, he had tied an NFL record with straight playoff games with at least 1 touchdown and no turnovers.
Mm-hmm.
He had 5 in a row. And I saw that stat. And the second I saw that stat, I'm like, crap, he's going to have turnovers. Like, this is Jared Goff. Like, 1 or 2 games in the year, he has like 3 or 4 turnovers.
Yep.
It just happened at a crappy time. And it just happened at a bad time.
100%. This is, I mean, there are numbers, the numbers that he put up and all kinds of stats that are just like, some of it stuff's historic, all-timer type stuff, like only Tom Brady's done, only Peyton Manning's done. So yeah, would we all like to have a mobile quarterback that's also accurate, that's also composed, that's yes, of course. But
of course we would.
yeah, I'd love that. But he's totally fine, fits the offense. And that's what was frustrating again. Man, whenever I see us in shotgun, I just get like, what are we doing? We under center, play action, run the ball, play action, motion, kind of get back to that like Rams type offense. When we're doing that, it's just like, man, we are tough to stop. But we go in shotgun, and again, that first fumble by Goff, it's like, can't have that. You just, man, and this is where, and I get why people get frustrated, because it's like, all right, feeling a little pressure, let's go. It's like, step up, or run, or just do something, and it just feels like he's got cement on his feet, and then somebody just hits him, not anything crazy, and it's just fumble, and it's just like, oh my gosh. So
Yeah.
I get, because optically, when
I get the frustration,
his mistakes look worse. They just optically look,
because he's Gumpy.
He's
like,
exactly,
or Gumby, I guess, is the like.
Yes.
And
That's
by the
why.
way, Croswell, show some love for Goff. Good
Sorry,
for
man.
you. You know what I'm saying? And that's good.
Yes.
I just look, I understand we live and have lived in a what have you done for me lately world. I get that. But I'm not going to sit here and forget everything that Jared Goff has done, not only throughout the regular season to get us to 15-2, but also last year in the playoffs. Like, I'm not going to forget that. So, no, he's still there. He's still a good guy. I think it's just, this is a Lions fan base that is so hungry to win a Super Bowl. Like, they want it so bad, and they see a chance, and it just wasn't close. It wasn't close. We all believed, we had vision that made us think to ourselves, ooh, we can do this. And we forgot we don't have a defense right now. And the Minnesota Vikings game, that was fool's gold, because Sam Darnold was trash. He was.
Yeah.
And so everybody's like, oh, Aaron Glenn's a genius. So Aaron Glenn comes out with that exact same confidence.
Yes.
And plays that same defense. And Jaden Daniels is just like, yeah, I'm good though. Like, I'm really good. I'm not just scheme good. I'm good.
And they do a great job with that offense. And you're so right. I'm going to pull this up. It just shows, like, when you look at our schedule, you could see right here when we were getting kind of torched up.
Yep.
Kind of Green Bay, Buffalo, Chicago, San Fran, and then this Minnesota game.
That's the outlier, not the standard.
Yes. And we were like, all right, cool. Anzalone. And I mean, I got fooled, because it's like, dude, he settled the defense down. Now, I think if we play a normal team, I think we are in better shape. But you play a Commanders team that plays that offense where, dude, I'm telling you, the second I saw our guys following those guys all the way out there, it was just like, oh my gosh, this is, and that. So, you've got Jaden Daniels, who can now run, throw, keep it, do all these things. And he's got 4 guys in the box defending him. You're like, oh geez. And so, dude, and how crazy was this game though? I mean, when it was, every series was the exact same. They'd get 6 yards on first down.
Yep.
2 more yards. So it's like, oh, 3rd and 2, baby. Get the crowd up. Poor crowd is just like, let's go, baby. 3rd and 2. They either get the first down, or kind of weird play. It's 4th and 1. It's like, just, they'll get it. And it's just, they bleed clock like I've never seen. I mean, how much time was spent down inside our 5?
Yeah.
14 minutes of game time where it's like, just let them in. And then finally they scored every time. So
every time. Every time when you were texting me, slow death, like that is what it felt like. It's like, I know they're going to score here. And then when we actually get stops, it's pass interference on Kirby Joseph in the end zone.
Yeah.
When we actually are getting them to 4th and 2, 12 men on the field. Are you kidding me? Like, what are we talking about? I don't think we've had a 12 men on the field penalty all year. So just those things. And it's a defense that I thought was going to come off a bye week looking rested, looking refreshed, and they just looked more outmatched. They flat out did.